Jurassic Park was such a big success when it came out in 1993. And after that, it will get a couple of sequels. And I'm about to bring to you a review of the first one, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1997 sci-fi action flick The Lost World Jurassic Park, released by Universal along with Amblin Entertainment, once again directed by Steven Spielberg, and is a sequel to Jurassic Park and loosely based on the Lost World novel by Michael Crichton, which came out a couple of years before this. David Cope wrote the story. Jeff Goldblum, Sir Richard Attenborough, Joseph Mazzello, and Ariana Richards reprise their roles from the first film, along with Julianne Moore, Pete Postlethwaite, and Arliss Howard, plus Vince Vaughn, are also in the film. The film takes place 4 years after the original film. John Hammond has lost control of his company to his nephew. And well, on the verge of bankruptcy, Hammond's nephew, Pierre Ludlow, intends to exploit dinosaurs from his uncle's company, second island, Isla Sorna, with plans for a new dinosaur theme park in San Diego. And Hammond sends a team led by Ian Malcolm to the island to document the dinosaurs and encourage non-interference, although the two groups eventually come into conflict. This film was released on May 23rd, 1997. It made a premiere in Los Angeles 4 days before that. The film was still a bit of a success despite getting mixed reviews. It didn't quite come close to the way the original film turned out. I'll get into the whole story in just a second. But first of all, if you haven't seen my review of Jurassic Park, I advise you to click on that card coming up right about now. There we go. In case you might have missed it, so you can catch it, or if you want to see it again before I get into the story. Give you a few more seconds. That ought to do it. Alright, on with the story. 4 years after the events of on Isla Nublar, a British family docks their yacht ashore at the nearby Isla Sorna, unaware that the island contains genetically engineered dinosaurs. Their daughter wanders off but is attacked by a group of Compsognathus. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but survives. An ailing Dr. John Hammond invites mathematician Dr. Ian Malcolm to his residence to discuss this incident. Hammond's company, InGen, which created the dinosaurs, is now headed by Hammond's nephew, Pierre Ludlow, who used the incident to take control of the company from Hammond. Besides Isla Nublar, Ian learns that InGen had another facility, Site B on Isla Sorna, where the company's dinosaurs were cloned. However, the island was abandoned during a hurricane and the animals were released into the wild to fend for themselves. Ludlow wants to exploit the island's creatures to save InGen from bankruptcy. Hammond asks Ian to join a team who will document the dinosaurs in their natural habitat to encourage a policy of non-interference. Ian's girlfriend, paleontologist Dr. Sarah Harding, was hired and is already on Isla Sorna. Upon hearing this, Ian reluctantly agrees to go to the island, but only to retrieve Sarah. Ian travels there with Eddie Carr, an equipment specialist and engineer, and Nick Van Owen, a video documentarian and activist. They find Sarah, but she insists on staying to continue her research. Ian is shocked when he discovers that his daughter Kelly has stowed away with the team in a trailer, which serves as their mobile base. Ludlow and a mercenary team arrive on the island to capture dinosaurs, with help from big game hunters Roland Timbo and AJ Sidhu. Roland's second in command, Dieter Stark, and paleontologist Dr. Robert Burke. Malcolm's group realizes Ludlow intends to ship the captured specimens to San Diego for an unfinished Jurassic Park attraction that he plans to revive after Hammond had abandoned the San Diego project in favor of the park on Isla Nublar. Nick and Sarah free the captured dinosaurs, and the animals wreak havoc on the engine team's camp. On the way back to the trailer, Nick rescues an injured Tyrannosaurus Rex infant that Roland used as bait to hunt its father. Nick and Sarah treat the infant's broken leg, but the Tyrannosaurus adults arrive, having tracked the infant's scent. They reclaim their infant, destroy the trailer, and devour Eddie during his attempt to rescue the group. Ian, Sarah, Nick, and Kelly are rescued by Ludlow's team and are forced to work together after losing all their communications equipment. They decide to travel to an abandoned engine base to call for help. During a break, Stark goes into the wilderness alone to relieve himself and is killed by a group of Compsognathus. After the team sets up a camp for the night, they are ambushed by the Tyrannosaurus adults. Burke is devoured, and others flee into a field of long grass where a pack of velociraptors ambush them, killing AJ and most of the engine personnel. Now for the final act and the ending. As always, you know the procedure. Excuse me. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Ian, Sarah, Kelly, and Nick reach the engine base, fight off velociraptors, and successfully radio for helicopter extraction. After being rescued, Nick reveals that he stole Roland's ammunition to prevent him from killing his trophy. However, they learn Roland has sedated the male Tyrannosaurus with tranquilizers instead. As more engine personnel arrive on the island to secure the male and infant, Roland declines Ludlow's job offer at the San Diego park, reflecting on AJ's death and the morality of Ludlow's scheme. In Port of San Diego, Ian and Sarah attempt to convince Ludlow to abandon his plans, but the ship carrying the male Tyrannosaurus suddenly crashes into the docks. The crew is found dead, and the Tyrannosaurus is accidentally released and begins rampaging through the city. Ian and Sarah locate the infant at the planned park and use it to lure the male back to the docks. Ludlow tries to retrieve the infant within the cargo hold, but is injured by the adult before being mauled to death by the infant. Sarah uses a tranquilizer gun to sedate the male before intervening government forces, including San Diego Police Department SWAT marksmen, can use lethal force on it, while Ian seals the cargo hold doors. In the aftermath, the dinosaurs are shipped back to Isla Sorna, accompanied by a naval escort, while Ian, Sarah, and Kelly watch Hammond, in a televised interview, announce that the American and Costa Rican governments have declared the island a nature reserve in the story. So what did I think of The Lost World Jurassic Park? Well, this is a film I haven't really watched much of. I've always seen some and bits and pieces of it, but just recently I watched it on Peacock for the first time in its entirety. I watched the full film finally. And I'm gonna say it's good in ways. I mean, not almost it's almost as good as the first, but not quite though. Now, when it was released, it did pretty well during the 4-day Memorial Weekend. It just did so well and would go on to make 618 million worldwide. The reviews for the film were mixed and what have you, and it's at Rotten Tomatoes with 54%, saying that the film demonstrates how far CG effects have come in the 4 years since its predecessor. Unfortunately, it also proves how difficult it can be to put together a truly compelling sequel. Yeah, I understand, and yeah, it could just been a little, Roger Ebert can't be said that the creatures in this film transcend any visible signs of special effects and seem to walk the earth, but the same realism isn't brought to the human characters who are bound by plot conventions and action formulas. Yeah. And Gene Siskel said he was disappointed as much as he was thrilled because this lacks a staple of Spielberg's adventure films. Exciting characters. Even in the original Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs, not to mention the human beings, had more distinct personalities than they have here. Save for superior special effects, the film comes off as recycled material. Well, true, but even so, I think cast was fine and all. We have Jeff Goldblum once again playing Dr. Ian Malcolm. Julianne Moore plays Dr. Sarah Hartling, and she's pretty good. Pete Postlethwaite plays Roland Tembo. Yeah, pretty good bad guy. Arliss Howard played Pierre Ludlow. It was pretty good. Now we get a little bit of an appearance of Sir Richard Attenborough as Dr. Hammond. Vince Vaughn played Nick Van Owen. I'm going to say he was pretty good. Actually, the following year, he and Julianne Moore would re-team for, oh, dare I say it, the Psycho remake, which I have yet to review. Not really sure if I will, but we'll stay tuned. We'll find out. There's also Vanessa Lee Chester playing Malcolm's daughter, Kelly, and Peter Stormare playing Dyer Stark, and Harvey Jason as AJ. And we have Joseph Mazzello and Aria Richards back as Tim and Lex, Hammond's grandchildren. So anyway, I'm going to say that the cast is fine and all. At least they have John Williams back on board to do the score for the film, which that was really good. Anyway, like its predecessor, it put out numerous things, including video games, comic books, and even toys. Which, of course, Kenner released the toys, and there were also remote-controlled vehicles by Tyco. Milton Bradley even put out a board game. I'm going to tell you, not bad. Anywho, this was just, well, not too bad. Video games include a pinball machine and an arcade game by Sega. So, now during its reviews and what have you, as I've already mentioned, critics praised the visual effects, which I actually like, but criticized the character development. Yeah, the development of the characters, yeah, it could have just used a little bit of, well, you know. But nonetheless, I feel like it still did pretty well and what have you. Though Spielberg expressed disappointment in the film, with saying he had become increasingly disenchanted with it during production. Anyway, the film would become the second highest grossing film of 1997. And of course, a sequel would follow 4 years later in Jurassic Park 3. Yes, so anyway, I will say The Lost World Jurassic Park, it's a pretty reasonable sequel. Just the characters could have just been a wee bit better and what have you, you know. But anyway, from what I've said, would I recommend The Lost World Jurassic Park? Well, I probably would say sure, go ahead, or perhaps give it a one-time watch. It's a draw between sure, go ahead, and give it a one-time watch. If you are a hardcore completionist of Jurassic Park, then a one-time watch. But anyway, what did you think of The Lost World Jurassic Park? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Jurassic Park 3. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, consider checking out my reviews for some of these other Spielberg films. I might as well give you, well, the sequels he had worked on before this. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom from 1984. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade from 1989. Those two were pretty good sequels. But anyway, but if you would like to see something else, see my but if you want something else, it may not be Jurassic Park or Indy, you can see my spoiler-free review of Transformers Rise of the Beast, which has already become the most viewed video on my channel this month so far. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.